Thank you so much, Saarthak. And I know as a child it is very difficult. Now I would like to call another Saarthak, Saarthak Prasad, my son. Uh, Sarthak Saxena knew her mother is going through cancer, and he has faced uh, the treatment. My son just heard about it, just heard about my stories, just heard about. He is always there in all my activities and all my work. As a child, when you hear the stories of cancer, when you hear the suffering of cancer, so I'm very open person. I'm little short tempered also. So I never hide anything from him. Everything about me, about my illness, he knows. So I just want him to share when you hear stories of your family going through cancer, how a child feel about himself, about family, और कितना डर लगता है उस बच्चे को कि मेरी फैमिली में इतने लोगों को कैंसर था तो मेरी लाइफ आगे कैसे होगी, क्योंकि सार्थक मुझे याद है जब ये 3 साल का था, इसने कुछ नंबर्स दीवार पे लिखे थे और मैंने इससे पूछा ये क्या नंबर लिखे हैं, तो इसने मुझसे कहा कि ये डॉक्टर के नंबर हैं, अगर तुम्हें कल को कुछ हो जाएगा तो मैं डॉक्टर को फोन कर लूंगा. ही वॉज जस्ट 3. So that is the impact. एंड एक बच्चे का 3 साल की उम्र में अगर वो नंबर्स डॉक्टर्स के अपने बेड के पीछे लिख के रख रहा है तो उसका इम्पैक्ट कितना गहरा होगा. और जब ये ऐसे आई नेवर सॉ हिम getting fearful about cancer. So I just want him to share with you what is his journey as a child of a cancer survivor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kaajal ma'am. Look, I was a very carefree child, and I still am. So for me, the whole writing numbers thing, that was merely a precaution. As a child, my mom often told me that she had cancer. Like she would often tell me, she wouldn't go into a lot of details, as of course at that time that was not something that I needed to know. And I'm talking, I was very young. I was like 3 or 4 years old. And after that, I remember when I was in school and people used to ask me, ki, what happened to your mother? Because she would sometimes be unwell, and I'd tell them. And when people would ask, ki, kya hua? I'd tell them that she had cancer. And the reactions I got from them, it was almost like I was hearing about a totally different person. Because for me, my mom is like sitting right here. She's completely fine. Even back then, she was, of course, she was not, at the time, I wouldn't say that she was completely strong. She was hard as rock. उनको कुछ feel नहीं होता था. But she was still normal. She was like you and I. So I thought कि यार इतना क्या hype है? Why is this so weird? And one day I sat with her and I had a very long conversation. And by the end of the conversation, I had goosebumps. My cousin was there, so we both were just asking questions. We had goosebumps. I never ever imagined my mother to go through any of that, to go through the chemos and go through the chemos, the entire diagnosis. She was very young when she got diagnosed with cancer. I remember like a few months ago, there was this event where she met another person who was also diagnosed with cancer at a very young age. And then she got into a little bit more detail. Like she used to tell me, of course, but उस दिन मेरे को वो feelings कि how it was back then, how scary it was for an especially young person to go through this stuff. I honestly, yeah, I am standing here. I am a caregiver, but I would honestly credit the original caregiver, and that was my nani. She stood by my mother at all costs. She supported her at times when it would feel like the entire world is against her. My nani passed away before I was born, but I still hear stories and I have the highest degree of respect for her. She also had cancer, and yeah, if anyone is to be credited to support her to above and beyond, that would be my nani. She stood with her. That would sometimes even feel like she was standing against the entire world. So that's all I have to say. I'm just 16 years old. I don't really have years of experience, years of knowledge. मेरे को जो भी पता है, it's all because of her, and I'm honestly glad. I genuinely think I'm privileged to know about these things, stand among such intellectual people at a very young age. So yeah, that would be all. Thank you.